My first business I actually started when I was in school at Clemson, and it was a business that I started out in my dorm room my sophomore year. And I know a lot of people probably think, whoa, that's crazy. Why would you start a business in college? Number one, you want to have fun in college. And number two, you don't know anything. How can you start a business when you don't even know how to run a business? And the one lesson that I learned is that, yeah, you don't know what you don't know, but in many cases that can be a blessing in disguise because you don't know that you can't make it. And if you're not paralyzed by fear of failure because you're a young, naive college student, then in many ways, all the better. So not knowing what I didn't know, I started this business out of my dorm room, and I ran it for about 3 years. And ultimately, that business did not succeed in a massive way. And I ended up closing it and shutting the doors to the business. But as the old saying goes, if you want to increase your rate of success, you've got to increase your rate of failure. It was my senior year at college, and the business was floundering. We had a little bit of success, but not a lot of success. And I was looking for a really creative and innovative way to promote Ticket Advantage. And I was in Clemson in college at the time, and I was taking a class in sponsorship marketing. I'm a marketing major, and I was a marketing major at Clemson. And the class was teaching the principle of selling sponsorship. So getting a company to give you money to put their name on what it is that you're doing. And I concocted this crazy idea that I and 12 of my friends were going to throw a tailgate party for fans at baseball stadiums all across America. The idea was that in Major League Baseball, you've got 82 home games, and so all of those fans would surely want to sell tickets that they couldn't use because there were just so many games. And so I created this program called the Ticket Advantage Baseball USA Tour. And we were going to throw a tailgate party for baseball fans, Michael, at 45 ballparks across America. We're going to travel 21,000 miles and throw a tailgate party at 45 different parks, both Major League Baseball and minor league baseball. So again, not knowing what I didn't know, I got on the telephone and I started making sales calls. And literally there was a 3 or 4 month period in my life where I was convinced that I made more phone calls than anybody in America, and I got less calls returned than anybody in America. I mean,
I can relate to that feeling.
I was calling, but nobody was calling me back. And it's only because I was persistent and I stuck with it that I achieved some success. And after about 4.5 months, Michael, jockeying on the phone, we secured 7 corporate sponsors that altogether generated roughly $250,000 for us to put on this program across America. Chevrolet was one of our national sponsors, Hewlett-Packard, Louisville Slugger. Cal Ripken was our official spokesperson. And
that's awesome.
The best part is another one of our title sponsors was Monaco Coach. And Monaco makes luxury RVs and buses. And they gave us a 45-foot Rockstar bus to travel across America in. It was
awesome.
absolutely incredible. I think when it comes to mentors, you've got to set your sights on who you want, who would mean a lot to you, and you've got to try to knock it out of the park. The thing that I want to share, though, with the viewers is that it's developing good habits. Every single day, you have to proactively work to do something positive to grow your business. And if you have integrity, if you do the right thing, if you treat your customers well, if you are doing something every day to grow your business, it's like a snowball. When the snowball starts running down the hill, it's really small. But as it goes down the hill and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and eventually, the snowball's the size of a mountain. And growing a business the right way is the same. That, the first couple of months, the first year, it's going to be tough. It's going to be small. But when you do enough good things, they multiply on each other. One great example, and this directly relates to sales, Michael, is referrals. We have treated our customers so well that they're the greatest source of new customers for us because they refer. The first year that we were in business, maybe 10% of our authors were referring. Second year, maybe 20%. The third year, 35%. The fourth year, 50%. This year, last year rather, 2010, roughly 70% of our new customers were referrals. And,
Wow, that is awesome. That really is.
We invest money in taking care of our customers, and because we do that, they like to refer. But the point is again, it's a snowball. We didn't start out with 70% of our customers referring. We had to work for that. And the same thing is true in your business, that to grow a big organization, to grow a successful organization, a sustainable organization, it takes a lot of hard work, and it takes a lot of consistent hard work. If you have that attitude, you're going to spend a lot of time with the wrong people. Number one, you've got to sell to people that have money. Because if they don't have any money, no matter how much they like your product or your service, they're not going to buy it. But number two, you've got to sell to people that have pain or want a gain from what it is that you have to offer. Remember, people buy for two reasons. They have pain and they want to move away from a problem and the pain that they're having, or they want gain and they want to move closer to getting the benefit of that gain. Those are the only two reasons somebody will ever buy anything. The one rule of thumb that I have, and this is my personal rule of thumb, is that when I'm cold calling, I always like to go negative. And going negative means you're assuming that they're not interested.
Huh, that's
because most people say, oh, it's a pushy salesman. And, a pushy used car salesman is, oh, my God, you got to see what we got. You're going to love it. You got to buy, you got to buy, you got to buy.
Yep.
So if you say, Michael, we're probably not a fit. You're probably not even interested in what we have to offer. But we have helped over 275 authors make more money by working with us. But you're probably not interested in that. The first is an upfront contract or an upfront agreement. And that's what we're going to talk about on the call, how long the call or the appointment's going to last, and what our conclusion is. So again, Michael, at the end of this phone call, one of two things is going to happen. One, we're going to mutually agree that there's a fit, and we'll determine what the next step is. On the other hand of the coin, we may decide this really isn't a good working relationship, and we shouldn't be working together, and that's okay too. If you realize that we're not a fit before I do, are you okay telling me that?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm getting you to agree to say no if the answer is no. So you got your upfront contract. Then you're going to talk about pain or gain.
Great.
Then you're going to talk about budget and money. Then you're going to talk about decision and timeline. And then you're going to conclude. And decision and timeline are two separate conversations.